We live and direct from Busterville, California, like always. I move around. They having like a festival down there, Hermosa Beach today. I probably go down there and check that out. You know, every Memorial Day, whatever that them holidays is, they have stuff down there. I go check that out. I know a lot of you guys are still in the bed. Guys don't get up in the morning you know, and move around and do what y'all have to do and stuff like that. I need some more gloves. Look at these suckers. They getting wore out. See, that's when you know you're working out. You see that? What's up, brother? What's going on? See? You see this? Yeah, you putting work in. That's when you putting work in. But anyway, good morning to you people. Alhamdulillah. Just want to get on here right quick, share a little information about Brick Baby and other few little things. What's up, Hennessy? Where you been at, Hennessy? You been missing. It's getting rough out here for the podcasters, huh, Hennessy? Well, at least these game member podcasters. It's getting rough out here for them dudes. Anyway, I got some information on Brick Baby. Brick Baby, it seems like, Brick Baby might have action, for me reading that last what's up, Mike Lowry? Me reading that last motion. The prosecutor, they admitted that they misled Brick Baby and taking that deal. So he might have action. I don't know. Allahu Alam. I don't know. He might have some action at that. It's just tricky. I never seen nothing like that. I never seen a case like Brick Babies. I just ain't never seen it. Where it's just strange to me. I can't say he's telling. I can't say he's suspect, but I do know big user Diamond. Brick Baby supposed to be a part of that case. There's no way. I don't see why he's not a part of that case. Uh, I don't know. I know that they came and got him, and he sat down with them people. I know he sat down with them people. He admitted that, but I don't know in detail what he told them. It's just strange to me. But well, that's where we at right now, dealing with Brick Baby. He's in a crossroad, crosshair. Uh, he's in a strange situation. He may come up out of that. I don't know. I hope he do. I don't wish that on him. I think that Brick Baby biggest problem when he was just always high as a motherfucker. He had an addiction. Uh, he always, he was good at what he did. Dealing with moving in that podcaster arena. He was good at that. But it be the drugs, man, that get these dudes about their squares, man. They don't think in critical terms when they're intoxicated like that. So I think that's their biggest downfall. A lot of these dudes, man, I think that's their biggest downfall. And when you're dealing with that, it become a hindrance to you. You can't elevate on certain things. You can't do shit. But I think that's just what that was, man, dealing with him. And then now, for you brothers that's all you hardcore real Negroes, this is y'all definition of the real Negroes. Either you gonna go to the penitentiary or you gonna be demised. So this is for all the real Negroes, all the real niggas. If you go to the penitentiary now, man, it's getting harder and harder and harder for you up in there, bro. Um, they done brought back the shoe. It's live in full effect for sure. I didn't talk to a bunch of brothers this morning. They saying that stuff is for real. CDC is starting to implement um, certain rules and regulations, regardless of what anybody's talking about, regardless of what you guys think that the penitentiary how it should be, they're not going for that anymore. So for all you dudes that want to follow the street culture, for all you dudes want to commit crimes, for all you dudes that want to be a real nigga, this is what you're facing, man. This is what you're facing on the highest level. And another thing I want to talk about is everybody think that since the Crenshaw district is in the media a lot, they think that's the Crenshaw district has the only that has certain particular problems like that, bro. That every hood, every section has the same shit going on. The back doors, the fake DPs, um, the cliques and the crews. They have all this shit going on. They have the informants going on. All these neighborhoods, bro. So don't ever let it get it twisted that you think that this stuff don't go on in every gang culture because it does. From California to Alaska. All this goes on like that, bro. All these type of situations, all this stuff goes on inside these neighborhoods, bro. Now, it's unfortunate that you have a lot of brothers, man, get caught up on certain situations. Um, even though they didn't do anything. But, you know, Baby Gangster said something one day, man, and I don't agree with him. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's in there for that, bro. Yes, that's a fact. That's true. He said something that I don't agree with, but I understand why he said it. He said that we know what we signed up for, right? Okay, I disagree with that on a term on a fence because when you're young, you really don't know what you signed up for. But as you start to engage into the activity, you will start really understanding what you signed up for. There are certain rules that they'll tell you you're supposed to follow. It's not a lot of rules. It's just like a little few rules. Don't snitch. Don't be a buster. Don't run out. Um, don't FO your homies and stuff like that. Even though some of them rules get broken, I understand that certain rules are supposed to happen. Like, say for instance, if you catch a case and you didn't do nothing inside that case, you don't supposed to tell on your own. I understand that. I understand that right there. So the thing is that um, yeah, I agree with that too. I think it was a plot too. So I understand that when he said that, but I disagree with it because I'm the type of individual where you don't it's just certain shit you don't do to your own, man. You know, it's just certain shit you just don't do, man. Um, it's like you don't mess with your homies to the point where, or your friends and shit like that to the point where you want to kill them. I can't never come to grips with that. I'm not gonna never come to grips with that. You know, uh, I'm not gonna come to grips where you know dudes being jealous of one another. Um, dudes will sit there and let they homies suffer in a manner when there is a way for your homie to get out of a situation. I'm never going to come to grips with that. So I have a position where I come from that particular type of environment. I understand it. I have a PhD in that shit, and I can tell you the ins and outs of that shit. You know, um, I don't think it warrant for you to get mad at one of your folks that you got to kill him. That just blows me away, man, because how would you want to kill a man that you just slept on his couch? Your mother didn't fed him. Um, you just slept on his floor. You guys and change each other clothes and shit like that, and bought each other clothes and put each other on and all that stuff, man. You guys know each other, mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers. And then one day you guys have a disagreement and y'all want to kill him. I can't come to grips with that, bro. I ain't gonna never be able to come to grips with that, man. I think that is so evil and so diabolical. It's unbelievable, man. I'm never gonna come to grips with that. You know, um, you see, um, what happens in every hood dealing with the DPs or dealing with something going wrong, man, you supposed to make sure you teach your homie or your friend not to make that same mistake. It don't have to be to the extreme, man, that you guys have to do something so volatile to the man where a man loses his life, bro. All this shit's a tragedy, man. And I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. In the next few months, it's not gonna be coming from the Crenshaw district. It's gonna be coming from other different hoods that was certain shit gonna start getting exposed on why certain shit happened, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's a wealth of information, man, that these detectives and that the law enforcement that they gather. And now in this day and age, dealing with technology, all you got to do is have a case number or have something like that, and you can pull it up, and you're gonna sit there and see that these people gather this information not from doing their reconnaissance, it's from their confidential informants and people inside these dudes' neighborhoods. This is why Young and Hefe is in jail. Young and Hefe in jail. Not by, it's probably a video, but somebody had to basically point the finger at Young and Hefe and North Face and stuff like that. So somebody told, bro, because you can understand they had another youngster up in there where he went to jail too, but he wasn't on the video. So how the hell did they get his name? Somebody Somebody put him there. Somebody told. And the only way they got that information, it came from them dudes section, them dudes group, them dudes crowd. Don't let that go over your head, bro. In every hood, man, every section, you have all these type of dudes. You have this that's going on. You have this stuff going on. And I think it was unfortunate, man, that that brother got caught up. I hope he get out. You know, alhamdulillah, I hope he get out. Uh, but we don't know. Like I said, I don't know. We don't know in detail what really happened. But it's stuff. It's like some of the stuff is starting to surface on the internet. You know, it's like I seen yesterday on Respectable Rants where he was breaking it down, and then you had another brother from their community. He was venting behind certain action. He started naming names inside. You know, the things was going on, like the text messages or the tweet or whatever it was. And I was reading it, and I was like, whoa. And I was like, really? But I already heard, you know, a lot of stuff that goes on. Cause if you in the streets or you have people in the streets, I'm not in the streets, but I know people in the streets. And one thing about these gang members, man, uh, which one, Hennessy? What you talking about? Which one you talking about? One thing about the streets, they don't hold no water, bro. I don't care what nobody say, man. These dudes do not hold water, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. These dudes don't hold no water. Who you talking about? Tennessee. Yeah, I'm not a gangster. I got an 800 credit score. You talking about the host? You talking about you talking about Adam 20? Who you talking about? Hennessy, tell me the name. The host? Are you talking about Adam 22? See, Adam 22. He can't be no informant because he's not out there in the streets. Now, Adam 22 can probably overhear some information, and then he can probably report it like that. But I don't know. I don't know. And there's no evidence that he's an informant. You know, and I'm gonna be honest with you. You're never gonna know who the informants are. You're never gonna know. You're never gonna know who the informants are. Yeah, they go on there. That, but you know what, Hennessy, you can't blame him for that. You have to blame the members for going on a podcast or interview and breaking down certain situations and stuff like that. And I think, like I said, I think that some brothers don't be conscious enough that when they be doing that, they don't know what they be doing because they be so high. They be drunk and they be so high. It'd be unbelievable. Cause I'll be like sitting there. Sometimes I'll sit there and watch. I'll be like, damn, man, why you talking about that? You know, these dudes be high. Or some dudes like Loose Cannon, he don't use drugs enough, but he just chase clout. He wanted to be, he's the type of person, he's more dangerous than the people who's on drugs. When a dude is chasing clout, he's gonna sit there and he's gonna tell stories or he gonna make up shit and he gonna do this and he's gonna do that. And that is more dangerous than a brother that's on drugs. When a person that chase clout, that's what them dudes do. Like the dude, the gay boy Rich Trapper, he's the same way. He's the type of dude, he don't know nothing about nothing. He always chasing clout. He lies so much, and I just sit there and I just shake my head because he really think that he's a real member from the Crenshaw district. He really think that he was out there in the field and he try to say he's a non-affiliate and then he say he's from Six Soul and shit like that. Dudes are like that, man, are very, very dangerous. Then they get on the internet and they just lie. I'm talking about lie. This dude, I just heard this dude talk about Big U so much. He don't even know Big U, bro. He wasn't even from our era, bro. He don't even know the man. Oh, this is just my trademark. That's all. Um, it's just like these dudes don't be knowing nobody, but they speak on like situations or third hand, fourth hand, fifth hand information that they really don't know, bro. And I said, because I'm not gonna try to correct them, you know. He said we all one. I'm not gonna sit there and try to correct him because if he don't know, he don't know. I just let him run without, with it. See, I'm just giving an example on how dudes are, man. Dudes, they'll sit there and they'll lie. Even with Seti Nash, when Seti Nash said something about Baby U, and I got at him, I was like, "Hey, bro, you that was diabolical. You shouldn't have did that shit." And he was like, "Oh, bro, that's what they saying." I said, "I don't give a fuck what they saying. You shouldn't have never said that because one thing about the war between the A-Trade gangster and the 60s, a lot of individuals, man, they lost their lives over there, bro. I'm talking about a lot of brothers lost their lives. And if you wasn't there in the trenches when that was going on, you don't understand the magnitude of that war, bro. So for Seti Nash to say that, um, so for Seti Nash to say, so for Seti Nash to say that the boy unalive Baby U, he was out of pocket for that. Now, do I believe that Seti Nash made a mistake? Yes. Do I think he did that intentionally? No. I think he was just trying to break some news and he didn't follow up. He didn't do his reconnaissance. He didn't do his research. We all make them type of mistakes, but you have to be conscious on what you're saying because that right there could have opened up a can of worms. Period. You know, that could open up a can of worm where to the point where it could have took us somewhere that it wouldn't couldn't took because you have to understand that we all have relationship with some of them brothers over there, from over there. So it's not like it was when we was growing up in the 80s and 90s and stuff like that. It has basically got to the point where it's not really like that. Now, them youngsters, we don't know about them dudes. They still banging, but the older generation, they not on that type of time, man, anymore. So when Seti Nash did that, even with Poetic Flacco, you know, and the thing when you do make the mistake, the thing is to come back and clean it up. It's nothing wrong with saying that you're wrong. It's nothing wrong with that, man. And a lot of these dudes, they don't like doing that. From the right, yeah. So it's like it's nothing wrong with going back and cleaning up a mistake. If you misspeak, it's okay. Go back and clean it up, man. If you read something or you misinterpret something, it's okay to go back and clean it up. You never should be that prideful that you should never clean something up. Or just take the video down. Or make another video and say, This what happens. This when you get the backlash because you're gonna get some backlash. This is why I got to give an education um, process where this is why I got this backlash because I said X, Y, Z. Um, this is why dudes is on my head because I misspoke, and you just give an education process, on that stuff. Now I don't have. I don't. You know what, bro? You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't have no old pictures of me being in no Romeos, no blue chucks. You may some khakis and a blue rag on being F bomb. I only have one picture with like the yeah, I do have a few pictures like that, bro. I'll post them one day, man. But me, I wasn't really like G'd up like that, bro. Especially when I started getting to the bag, man. Once you start getting to the money, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. This is how this stuff goes, and I don't think a lot of people like try to educate these dudes on that. When you first start that stuff, you be into that like khakis, Pendletons, Chucks, blue rags, and all that type of stuff. And I think you have like a 1 or 2 years of doing that. But when you start getting some money, your whole dress code start to change. Your whole dress code start to change. Your mannerism charts start to change. You're not in the streets like you really in the streets like you used to be when you was really out there like that. Um, you just basically focus on getting to the bag. You are where you from, and you be around there. Maybe you in the neighborhood on the block getting to the bag, but you don't put yourself in harm's dealing with the foolishness and getting the money because it doesn't mix. In order for you to get to the bag, man, you have to be on the streets to get to the bag. When you gang banging 9 times out of 10 and you out there spinning the block and you doing stupid shit, you finna go to jail straight up. And you don't want to take that chance. So I think brothers have like a few years just to act a fool. And then after that, they're not gonna too much act a fool anymore. They may socialize with their homies. Um, they may go to meetings, hood days, and stuff like that. Um, no, I'm not a USC alumni, bro. I went to El Camino College. Um, and they may do shit like that, but other than that, no. I went to El Camino and I went to Northridge for like a semester until I start really get caught up in the bullshit. But anyway, that's how that goes, man. Everybody inside their section or their neighborhood, bro, doesn't move like that. You know, um, I don't think no, he didn't grow. He didn't graduate from USC. He went there though. But the thing is this, man. I think he went there. I don't know. I'm not for sure. I don't want to lie on the man or nothing like that. I don't know. He may went there. I don't I don't know, bro. But the thing is this, man. When you're inside that section or when you're dealing with that lifestyle, everybody is not gonna be a full-fledged gang member. Everybody's not gonna be, whatever it is, because you got dudes inside there in your neighborhood, in your turf, they know how to get to the money. They be D-boys. You got dudes over there, they be straight players. You got dudes over there, they be to have the full package. They just be gang banged out. And you got dudes, when I say the full package, they know how to get to the money. They will murk your ass. They know how to fight. Um, they know how to do everything that everybody else know how to do. Um, so I call that the full package. I call that a gang member. That's the definition of a gang member when he know how to do all them type of traits. Certain dudes don't know how to do all them type of traits, man. We had dudes that didn't know how to fight, but they still was a part of the group. You know how that go, man. Everybody have a position to play, and the thing is that you have to play your position. It's like, let's say for instance, it's plenty of times that we got put in situations inside when we was incarcerated, and we know that one of the dudes get into it with another dude, and we look at the dude, we know that our homie he don't know how to fight. You know what I'm saying? So we be like, okay, man, I got that. I do it. I squabble you. Stuff like that. Because when you're a part of something, an organization, a community, or something like that, you know everybody's ability, man. And the thing is this, man, you got to safeguard we as a whole in any community, if you're part of community, it's for you to safeguard your group. And this is it's a lost art, man. It's getting crazy. It's getting to the point where that a lot of brothers finna go to jail and stuff like that. Um, I want you guys to go over there to subscribe to the brother Rich 64, the Making of a Man TV. Me and him got into like what's good morning? What's going LB fine? What's going on? We got into a debate where he was saying that we need to change the narrative or help the people try to elevate to. And he said, and, and I understand his position, alhamdulillah, because we can agree to disagree. I understand his position. And he was saying that basically I was a pessimist because I said it's not gonna happen. And the reason why I said it's not gonna happen, man, because you cannot go inside the United States ghettos with a Martin Luther King type attitude. We must overcome. We need to all get along. It's not gonna happen. When you have dudes that's cancer inside these neighborhoods, inside these sections, um, when you have these dudes inside these neighborhoods, inside these sections, and they're like a cancer to your community. If you pay attention to the trends of history, in order for you to establish a new order, in order for you to establish new peace, you have to eradicate the bullshit inside the community. And meaning that dude's gonna have to die or dude's gonna have to go to jail, man. Right, you got to get rid of them. And he was saying that, I understand his position. He was like, "Oh man, I said, nah, bro, because when you trying to establish something, you're gonna have an opposition. And if you don't flex your muscle or your strength and trying to let these people know that you're serious about pushing, changing the narrative or changing the concept inside these ghettos and stuff like that, they're gonna try to trample upon you, bro. You have to flex your muscle. You have to flex your strength. You got to get rid of them, man. Now, I'm not saying to get rid of them to the point that they all die and stuff like that, but you're gonna have to make examples of these dudes in order for you to establish a new law and order. Because I'm gonna tell you like this: once a couple of demos is put down, the dude's gonna gradually start getting in line with the concept. I'm telling you. And then this hip hop and this rap music is brainwashing the masses of the people to the point, man, that it's becoming unbelievable. It's come unbearable. These dudes, man, I don't care if you're from the or anything like that, man. These dudes really be listening to that shit, and they be really and they be really on some bullshit. They really be believing that shit that these dudes be propagating in this music. Nah, bro, I don't eat at Woody's, bro, at all. I don't eat none of that stuff. So they be hypnotized to the point where they truly believe that they gangster or they hoosters or they some rough and tough ass dudes, and they really not. These just like let me give you an example of just the stuff that happened in San Diego with the brothers with the Muslims and these dudes, these Mexicans and white boys. I guess they were Mexican white boys. Their understanding about Islam was that Islam, the brothers are terrorists, the brothers is this and the brothers is that because of the propaganda that comes on the internet, comes on the TV, that comes on the radio. So they kids, so they took it up on themselves, got some automatic weapons, and went up in there and they killed three of the brothers. And then they killed themselves. Cowards, busters. They was on some bullshit. They was ready to die you know. So this is what I'm talking about. The internet, the information is an MF. And this is why, you guys got to understand, all these dudes on YouTube and all these dudes that be on these podcasts, we all have each other numbers, bro. And it's a back channel that we talk to each other a lot. And it's like, and I tell some brothers, I say, man, if you on your podcast and you have all these followings and you sit there and you put something out there like that, Nine times out of 10, they're gonna believe everything you're talking about, and they may follow up on what you're talking about, bro. So, say for instance, let me give you an example. Um, Dude said, me and 600 come out, he at work now, he got a job now, alhamdulillah, he can't really come out here with me in the morning time. You know, he probably can next week because we're gonna change the schedule. But we be out here working out, right? So certain podcasts will be said, they'll say, oh, they be at Santa Monica Beach, they be here, they be there, which is true. And we're not hiding. I'm not hiding. I'm not running from nobody. I'm not doing none of that type of stuff. I don't fear nothing but the law. I know how to protect myself. I know how to move through the land. I know how to stay dangerous. I know how to do all that type of stuff. So, I'm a civilian, so I don't worry about all the negativity and all that old bullshit, that comes with the internet. But when you own the internet, when you own the internet, I'll answer that in a minute. When you own the internet, um, and you're saying, man, if y'all don't like them dudes, if y'all don't like them dudes, they y'all know where they at, y'all need to go get them and all this type of shit. Somebody in their mind, they need to chill out. He ain't getting beat down no more. In their mind, they be like, oh yeah, 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 you're right. Yeah, you're right. We need to go up there and get them Negroes, right? So when a dude take on that action and that responsibility to go do that, he might not even know what he's finna run into, bro. First of all, you're not gonna get away because where I'm at right now, bro, I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. Where I'm at, there's cameras wrapped all around this joint right here. I'm talking about all around this joint. I'm talking about anywhere, everywhere, even in the United States ghetto. It's like they have technology, they have cameras everywhere, right? So you're not gonna get away with it, right? And then if you go up in there and you don't know what you're really doing, you'll mess around and might not making up out of there. So it's like I be trying to tell these brothers, man, y'all got to be careful, man, on how y'all be trying to, put on this image, on this act, like because a lot of us is not even in the streets anymore. So why would you want another individual to go out there to try to spin the block and you ain't gonna do it? You know. So yeah, she bad, huh? I know her too. I know her. She asked me, the one in the red. She asked me, she said, Eddie, where you been at? Where you been? I've been. I was like, yeah, I've been taking care of business. Um, so it's like it's hypnosis when dudes be on this internet and they be talking about stuff. And you got to understand the majority of the people, they like drama. They like bullshit. They geared towards the bullshit. It's like a soap opera. They want to see drama. They want to see a dude get their head busted. They want to see a dude argue with a dude, you calling you a bitch ass nigga all on the phone going crazy. I'll be like, man, dudes, you really want to see that shit. And it blows me away because me personally, I can't stand it, man. I have to move away from it because I be like, ugh. I go on Clubhouse sometimes and they just be like, I get the fuck out of there. I just can't. It's just like there's no peace when you can't have a conversation with a person. It's okay to the degree to disagree, but dudes just do not know how to conversate with people. Everybody want to be right. Now, let's go to the question: if your bread and butter is inside your neighborhood, in your hood, what you gonna do? If your bread and butter is inside your neighborhood, but what to an extent is your bread and butter in the your bread and butter is inside your neighborhood? Or is it legit? Do you have a legit company over there and things of that nature? I don't think you have to leave. If your bread and butter is over there and you doing something criminal, you need to hurry and get the fuck. You need to hurry and make your money get the fuck away from over there, man. Because I'm gonna tell you like this: if your bread and butter is inside the section or inside the United States ghettos, you got somebody that's hating on you, jealous of you, and you got informants over there. So you're not gonna last long. This is not like the 80s and 90s no more, man. Where you can make damn near 100 grand in a week on a block. You can't do that no more, man. You got to be very, very tactful on how you move out there in them streets nowadays, bro. So if you get to the point, man, when you make enough money Man, you can take, bro, 100, 200 racks, man, and go buy you 4 box trusses, bro, and start you a LLC and start getting to the bag, man. You can do all that type of stuff, man. I don't know why dudes don't invest their money like that, man. Nah, this is a weighted vest, bro. This is when I do push-ups and pull-ups. It's a weighted vest, a 25 weighted vest. So so that's just what that is, man. It's like there's levels to life in general. And when you're dealing with life, you want to reach a particular level. I don't care how many obstacles that you run into. You know, people are funny style. Let me tell you how funny style people are. Say, for instance, I'm gonna use myself as an example, and I'm gonna always use myself as an example. I come from a culture, man, that I despise now. And I'm gonna tell you that I despise that stuff. I wish I never was engaged in that stuff. Uh, I think it's the lowest of the low because I understand that we was predators and preys to our own community. We was a hazard to our own community. Everybody that participated in that was a predator and a prey and a hazard to their community. Even though you wasn't out there in the streets like that, like you was, but you was a part of that group and you agreed with the bullshit. I done seen so many innocent individuals get killed, bro, backdoor. I'm talking about from the section I used to be from. And to be honest with you, bro, it still bothers me to this day, man, because I really truly believe that we dropped the ball. And when I say we dropped the ball, is that when a wrong is being done inside your community or inside your section or inside your group, it's the group job to eradicate that problem and fix that problem and that wrongdoing. We didn't do that. We looked at it as it was being the norm. It was just normal for dudes to do that shit. That comes with the program, but it doesn't come with the program. If they call one of your homies a snitch, and back when I was growing up, bro, snitches was getting racked up. If you was a rat, you weren't gonna make it on the street. You gonna find yourself in an alley somewhere stinking. You know, in this day and age, I don't see a lot of that happen. Dudes can be telling and they can go back to their neighborhood. When I was growing up, you would get killed. So they took it more serious back then than it is now. Um, you have to understand, man, that one of my ex comrades, he got killed because some dude said he was telling. Then they found out he wasn't telling. Now, my brother don't function with the 60s no more, brother, than paying no. I talked to him, and hell no, he been done with that. Um, they said he was telling. They found out he wasn't telling. Hey, man, I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. The feeling of that shit, the rage of that, understanding that what happened to that brother, man, I really couldn't understand it, man. And I wasn't there at that time. I was doing some time. I think I was like, I came home like 2 months later after it happened. Hey, man, when I got back to the block, because that's what we do. We young, we get out, we go back to the block, and we find out everything. And and the only reason why certain shit didn't get done is because a particular individual has some status over there, bro. Do it make it right? Hell motherfucking no. It doesn't make it right, bro. And that's what I came to grips with, man, to know that basically everything in that culture, even in life, even in when I come, doing jobs for people, working in this field over here, bro, it's always selective when you dealing with certain shit. If you got a regular 9 to 5, they politic on certain shit in these in this workforce, it becomes selective. When you dealing with this whole world, man, everything comes selective, man. And I don't get that. and I don't understand that. And it's incredible on how I don't understand the selectiveness. It's just like the people nowadays, it's geared toward basically just the evilness. They don't care about no justice. They don't care about nothing like that. Who over there? So these are like lessons. I get up here, man, and dudes don't like me, man, because I tell them like it is, bro. I don't give a shit. If you did some fuck shit, you did some fuck shit. If I do some fuck shit, I want you to tell me that I did some fuck shit. Okay. These dudes get mad, man, because when you tell them the truth, it hit homes with them, bro. It hit home with them. You know, you tell them, man, they a piece of shit, for representing certain shit like that, and they really be feeling like they a piece of shit. I don't care what nobody say. You're not gonna go throughout the land, man, and feel that you just doing something right, man. And you out there doing acting like a damn fool. But hey, man, I just came up here to chop it up with you guys. I've been on here for like 41 minutes. Tell you guys good morning. I encourage you people, for the people that's on drugs or drink a lot, I encourage you guys, don't be too consumed in that. Uh all right, one day I do that. I do that on the short, bro. um don't consume too much, man. I can't tell you not to smoke. I can't tell you not to drink or nothing like that. But I'm gonna tell you, man, that smoking and drinking, man, is the number one and two killing, biggest killer in the world, man. I'm telling you that. Tobacco and alcohol, especially alcohol. If you pay attention, especially alcohol, you pay attention to the alcohol. If you see a person that would drink a lot, you'll see their skin start to mess up and the kidneys starting to fail, and it's all type of ailments that come with that, man. And me away because I go to sports bars a lot, like watch the games, football, basketball. And you know what blows me away is the women. The women would drink the men up under the table and still get in their car and make it home. I can't understand that. But it's like it's a new day and age. They have basically they done made all these cliches for um but just to go out and drink every day, but in reality is y'all just like the people just like to drink, you know. It don't have to be hump day, it don't have to be Taco Tuesday, it don't have to be Thirsty Thursday, it don't have to be Friday or the weekend, it don't have to be Monday night football. If you like to drink, man, that's what you do, man. You guys don't have to make all these different type of cliches on and explanation on why you out here celebrating drinking. Nah, motherfucker, you just like to drink. You like to drink, you like to smoke, you like to get high, you like to feel good. Some people like to want to escape reality and things of that nature. I understand that. But I'm saying, man, don't get too consumed in that stuff. Even with the coffee, the coffee is dangerous. It's just like a lot of things that's dangerous for us as human beings nowadays. It's unbelievable. Even the fucking food is fucked up. So it's just a lot of things, man, that goes on in life that I think that we supposed to have like a balance. It's called Mizan. No, I'm doing what I'm doing today, bro. I'm finna do I already did it, already. Um I did the push-ups, the pull-ups, and I did the squats over there, right? And it's just like a cardio, it's just like a no weights, no nothing day type day for me. And then I was gonna go down there to Manhattan. From Manhattan, and I was gonna walk down there from Manhattan to Redondo, but they having like a festival down there right now today. Every year at this time, dealing with this holiday, they have a festival down there. So I probably just go home, shower, and I still might just go down. I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna go down there anyway. So that's what I do. I go down there. It's pretty nice, man. But it's not a life eat a good meal for Memorial Day. Nah, I'm okay with that. Um, it's like they for Memorial Day they always have this big old function down there at Hermosa Beach. Like say for instance, um, dealing with Hermosa, Redondo. Uh, Nah, I don't need no girlfriend, man. It ain't bro. I don't need no girlfriend, bro. I know how to get women, man. That's the easy thing for me to do. All I gotta do is walk in somewhere, man. I'm good chose. Shit, I don't. That's easy. Women are easy. That ain't nothing, man. I can get a woman, man. Just about. I don't give a shit. I don't need no damn girlfriend. Yeah, I'm okay. I can get a woman right now. See these women walking around here, bro. I could step to one and have their number just like that. This stuff, that stuff is easy, man. You got to understand, man, that you know, I know how to engage with. I don't care what race or color you is, man. I know how to engage. Period. So, you know, every like on dealing on this beach side, they have events like from Memorial Day all the way all through the summer. It'd be nice too, man. And that's why I call it Busterville, California. I don't know where Don the one at Hennessy. I thought you guys got married because you came up missing and he came up missing. So do you have Don the one over there somewhere hiding up under the bunk, or he just sitting there next to you telling you not to tell me he's sitting there? That's what it is. You know you got Don the one over there sitting next to you, Hennessy. You know you got that. But one day, man, if you guys not doing too much of nothing, you guys you always at work. Oh, okay. Uh check it out. If you guys not doing too much of nothing, um doing like the summer, something like that, and you guys look up, pull it up, and see what type of events they be having on this beach side. And I guarantee, man, y'all gonna love that. I don't care what beach side. I don't care if it's Long Beach, Hermosa, Redondo, Manhattan, Huntington, Newport. I'll be at all that stuff. I just don't go to the jazz concerts, man. I think the jazz concerts is straight Negrofied, ghettofied and Negrofied. So I just don't go to it. I like jazz. I like the crowd, but it just be ghettofied. I'd be like, man, I went to a thing at the Hollywood Bowl and I walked up in there. I ran into so many people. Check it out. I went into so many fucking people that when I was in that lifestyle, it was unbelievable. And they recognized me. Yeah, I didn't recognize them because they changed. Like they changed. They Some of these dudes is big. It's all outdoors. They older and stuff like that. Um, they face is fatter. And I was like, man, who are you? And they were like, I'm Wolf. I was like, my God. And it's like, man, it's just, but they recognize me from the gate. And I'd be like, man, that's dangerous. And because I'm like a paranoid type dude, like, that's just my defense mechanism and stuff like that. Because I'm gonna tell you like this, man, when you come from that lifestyle, even though you leave that lifestyle, you may have done something to somebody in that lifestyle, man, that it may hunt you and come back on you years later on, years down the line, man. I'll be there. I already have the tickets, Hennessy. I'll be right there. I already have the tickets. I'll be right there. I'll be it's a concert coming up with Chris Brown. I think just with Chris Brown in September, right? Or is both? Yeah, I'll be right there. I go to that type of stuff. I go to there. I go. And you know what? I went to one Chris Brown concert, and I'm not even gonna lie. Hey, I'm gonna tell you why it's not. I'm gonna tell you why Hennessy is not more ghetto than the jazz concert, because Chris Brown bring every race up in that joint. It'd be so diverse. It'd be whites, Asians, Hispanics, blacks. It'd be a rainbow coalition. That's why it's not ghetto like that. I'm talking about, I went up in one Chris Brown concert right here at the Forum. I think it was like 2 years ago. I went in there sucking by myself. I got bored. I'm telling you, I got bored. I seen the concert. I parked my truck. I got out. I didn't have no tickets. Um, but you have scalpels out there. So I seen my little buddy, the littles out there. I was like, hey man, let me buy one of them tickets. He was trying to sell me the ticket for. I was like, man, you better sell me one of them tickets. Dude, we grew up together. So he told me the ticket for a reasonable price, and I went up in there and I'm telling you, just like this. It was so many women up in that joint. It was hardly no men up in there, just women. I was like, my God. That's why it's not ghettofied. It's because it'd be more women than men at the Usher and Chris Brown concert. The jazz concerts, you got a whole bunch of niggas, a whole bunch of Negroes up in there because they girls drag them to them concerts. And the only reason probably some of them dudes don't act a fool because they be with their girls. But hey, to each his own. I like staying on my side. No, 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 no. I know these brothers. I grew up with these brothers. I grew up with these brothers, Hennessy. I don't. I see them. I grew up with these brothers. So, and the cold part about it is they got me in there first, and then I gave them the money. That's what they did for me. So, I'll be careful like that. But other than that, I'd rather go to them type of concerts, and stuff like that. But it's all about living life. It's not about tricking yourself off the streets. I truly believe that if you've been in any type of trouble before, I don't care how hard you get out here. When you get out of that trouble, um, you can basically, learn to appreciate this shit right here. You need to appreciate this. And I'm gonna tell you like this, and I ain't even gonna lie to you. Once young and Hefe get out that situation, I guarantee he's done with that shit. I guarantee you. Mark my word, he is done with that shit because he's at the point where love don't make no sense. And then on that note, you guys have a good day. Stay blessed. Assalamu alaikum.